Perfect. Let's make you a one-page Panchayat Devolution Index 2024 cheat sheet. This will be short, crisp, and super easy to remember, like a ready reference before exams or discussions. Panchayat Devolution Index 2024 cheat sheet. What is it? Devolution giving power, money, and responsibility from state, village governments, panchayats. Report name. Status of devolution to panchayats in states 2024, also called Panchayat Devolution Index. Purpose shows how much panchayats are empowered, based on Article 43G, 73rd Amendment. Number 6 dimensions. Think 6 subjects in panchayat exam. 1 framework, laws and rules for panchayats. 2 functions, actual tasks given. 3 finances, money power and spending freedom. 4 functionaries, staff and workers available. 5 capacity building, training for leaders and staff. 6 accountability, transparency and answerability. Shortcut memory, RWMSTC, really wise men solve tough challenges. Rules, work, money, staff, training, checks. Key findings. Overall power from 39.9% 2013-14, 43.9% 2021-22. Functionaries, staff, from 39.6% 50.9%. Capacity training from 44% 54.6%. State rankings, top 5, Karnataka 1, Kerala 2, Tamil Nadu 3, Maharashtra 4, UP 5. Lowest, DNH and Daman DU, Puducherry, Ladakh. Best states in each dimension, framework, Kerala, functions, Tamil Nadu, finances, Karnataka, functionaries, Gujarat, capacity, Telangana, accountability, Karnataka. Why important? Strong panchayats, faster solutions in villages, roads, water, health, schools. Weak panchayats cause delays, dependency on higher officials. In one line, more rules, work plus money, staff, training, checks, stronger panchayats equals better villages. Would you like me to design this cheat sheet into a visually clean one-page poster, like a study note with boxes and highlights, so you can save it as an image, PDF, for quick revision? All right. Let's create a deep, detailed, yet very simple summary of DBIM, Digital Brand Identity Management, so you can revise everything clearly and easily. Detailed summary, Digital Brand Identity Management, DBIM. What is DBIM? Full form, Digital Brand Identity Management. Introduced by Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, MITY. Purpose: to make all government websites look, feel and function in a uniform way. Think of it as giving every government website a common uniform, just like school uniforms give all students a similar look. Why was DBIM needed? The problem: earlier, every ministry department made its own website, different designs, colors, fonts, logos, different structures, menus in different places, sometimes confusing, slow, or not mobile-friendly. No consistency across ministries. Citizens got lost because moving from one ministry's website to another felt like moving to a completely different world. Example: Ministry of Health's website looked different from Ministry of Education's, hard for people to know where to find information. Main objectives of DBIM 1. Simplification. Make websites simple, easy to use, with fewer confusing tabs. Example: schemes, services, contact, news, instead of 10+ menus. 2. Standardization. All government websites follow the same design template, same fonts, color codes, navigation style. 3. Accessibility for all. Available in multiple Indian languages. Friendly for persons with disabilities, screen readers, voice navigation, larger fonts. 4. Transparency. Citizens clearly see government priorities and progress. Example: if Gov focuses on Digital India or renewable energy, it will be shown uniformly. 5. Better service delivery. Easier access to services like paying taxes, applying for Aadhaar, passports, or government schemes. Significance: why DBIM matters. Supports the vision: minimum government, maximum governance. Less confusion, less red tape, more efficient services to citizens. Introduces uniform governance. Just like uniforms create unity in schools, DBIM creates unity in governance online. Builds trust. Professional, consistent websites make citizens trust online services more. Benefits: for citizens, no need to relearn different websites, faster and easier access to essential services, mobile-friendly and language-inclusive. For government, saves money using one common design template instead of each ministry making a new one, easier to maintain and update, improves credibility and efficiency. For businesses, clearer access to tenders, policies and schemes. Helps startups and entrepreneurs who need quick info. Challenges DBIM may face. Some ministries might resist change, they may prefer their own design. Government staff will need training to handle new systems. Cybersecurity must be very strong since all websites will look and work similarly. Regular updates are needed to keep content accurate. Real-world analogy. Imagine if every branch of a bank had a different logo, different process, and different design. Customers would be confused. But if all branches follow the same design and process, customers feel comfortable and confident. DBIM does the same for government websites. Memory capsule, 2 lines. DBIM is a Mate-Y initiative to unify all government websites under one common design and navigation system. It makes services simpler, transparent, accessible, and citizen-friendly, bringing minimum government, maximum governance to life. Would you like me to now compress this into a one-page cheat sheet study poster, like I did for Panchayat Devolution Index, so you can quickly revise DBIM before exams? Perfect. Here's a one-page cheat sheet on geoeconomic fragmentation, precise, systematic, exam-ready with all best points packed in. #geoeconomic fraction cheat sheet. Meaning, geo equals countries, world. Economic equals trade, money, jobs. Fragmentation equals breaking apart. GF equals breaking of global economy into smaller friend-based groups, opposite of globalization. Why happening? Causes. Security concerns, avoid over-dependence on rivals. Pandemic shocks, COVID exposed fragile supply chains. Wars and geopolitics, US-China rivalry, Russia-Ukraine war. Nationalism, jobs, leaders want local industries. Tech rivalry, don't share sensitive high-tech. 3. Channels of GF, how it happens. 1. Trade barriers, tariffs, bans. 2. Investment restrictions, money flows to allies only. 3. Tech decoupling, stop sharing. 4. Subsidies for local industry. 5. Friendshoring, supply chains shift to friendly nations. 6. Nearshoring, supply chains shift to nearby nations. 4. Examples. Friendshoring, Apple moves iPhone production from China to India. Nearshoring, German firm, customer service in Poland. Tech decoupling, US Chips Act 2022 boosts domestic semiconductors. Tech decoupling, China made in China 2025 self-reliance. Number 5. Impacts, global. Lower growth, less trade equals smaller global GDP. Higher costs, goods, services costlier. FDI relocation, investment shifts to allies. Jobs and migration hit, fewer opportunities, less remittance. Weak cooperation, global issues, climate pandemics, harder to solve. Decline of globalization, less cultural tech exchange. Impact on risks, FDI fell FY24 5-year. Slower growth threatens 5-star target by 2028. Opportunities, friendshoring, India attractive as alternative to China. Needs, infrastructure, skills, ease of doing business. Pros and cons. Pros, safer supply chains, new local jobs, self-reliance. Cons, higher costs, slower growth, weaker global cooperation. 8. Memory trick. Globalization mall, everyone trades inside one big shop. Fragmentation, small shops, only friends, neighbors trade together. 9. Exam-style keywords, friendshoring, nearshoring, tech decoupling, Chips Act US, Made in China 2020 FINA, FDI shift, trade barriers, decline of globalization. One-line summary, GF equals world economy splitting into based groups, safer for some but costlier, slower and less cooperative overall. For India, it's both a risk and an opportunity. Would you like me to now design this into a visually clean infographic style like a chart diagram so you can revise it in 2 minutes at a glance? Perfect. Let's go super deep but also simple word by word so you never lose track. I'll treat this like a history economics explainer. First I'll unpack the meaning, then show examples, then give a layered summary, short, medium, long. We are talking about geoeconomic fragmentation, GF, and India's strategy. Number 1. First, what is geoeconomic fragmentation? Geo equals geography, countries, politics. Economics, trade, money, production. Fragmentation equals breaking into pieces. So GF equals U. The world economy is no longer one big connected system. Instead, it is breaking into smaller groups, like friend circles or clubs, where countries trade more with trusted allies and less with rivals. Number 2. Why is this happening? The world was once moving toward globalization, free trade everywhere. Now, several shocks have shaken trust. 1. Pandemic, COVID-19, factories and shipping stopped. 2. War, Russia-Ukraine, oil, gas, and food supplies disrupted. 3. US-China rivalry, countries forced to choose sides in tech and trade. 4. Security concerns, fear of depending too much on one country. 5. Job protection, some countries want to bring back industries for local workers. Result, countries ask, who can I trust to supply me critical goods? Number 3. India's challenge. India wants to become a $5 trillion economy and later a developed nation by 2047. But GF makes this harder because trade flows are more uncertain. Raw materials may be cut off. Prices can rise if supply chains break. Technology access may be blocked by rival camps. So India needs a new survival and growth strategy. Number 4. India's strategy, 3 big pillars. A. Strengthening domestic supply chains. Meaning, India must build the ability to produce and store essential goods on its own. Critical goods equals minerals, lithium, cobalt, nickel, semiconductors, fertilizers, medicines, batteries. Steps 1. Identify 20 or 30 critical sectors. 2. Reduce dependence on a single country, ESPO China. 3. Use Kabil, Khanij Bangladesh, India Letid to secure minerals abroad. 4. Build domestic refining, processing and factories. 5. Create stockpiles like storing food grain in FCI, but now for minerals and chips. 6. Encourage recycling of metals, e-waste. 7. Improve ports, roads, logistics for smooth transport. 8. Give incentives to companies to set up factories in India. Train workers in new age manufacturing. Example, if India makes electric cars, it needs lithium for batteries. Instead of relying only on China, India invests in lithium mines in Argentina via Kabil, builds refineries at home. Hakachi, B. Leveraging regional partnerships, meaning work closely with neighbours and trusted partners so India isn't isolated. Nearshoring equals bringing production close to home. Friendshoring equals producing in friendly countries. Regional groups, BIMSTEC, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Thailand, etc. Bay of Bengal Group. IPF, Indo-Pacific Economic Framework with US, Japan, Australia, etc. Steps 1. Sign trade agreements with trusted partners. 2. Build shared infrastructure, ports, rail, power grids. 3. Create supply corridors, special fast lanes for goods. 4. Make emergency agreements, share food, energy during crisis. 5. Coordinate on technology standards, same rules, smoother trade. Example, if a chip factory in India needs a rare gas from Thailand and steel parts from Bangladesh, smooth regional trade ensures no delays. Innovation and technology, meaning India must invent, not just import. Key focus areas: 1. Renewable energy, solar, wind, hydrogen, reduce oil imports. 2. Batteries and EV tech, power India's transport. 3. Semiconductors, chips, brains of electronics. 4. Artificial intelligence, AI, efficiency, digital growth. 5. Digital public infrastructure, UPI Aadhaar model, global leadership. Steps: 1. Increase R&D spending, support startups and incubators. 3. Public-private partnerships in big projects, chips, EVs. 4. Train engineers, coders, technicians. 5. Protect intellectual property rights. Example, India builds its own low-cost solar panels, exports them to Africa and Asia, earns foreign exchange and reduces dependence on China. Number 5. Conclusion. What this means for India: the world is not fully connected anymore, but it is also not completely breaking apart. Instead, countries are building trusted networks. India must 1. Secure what it needs, minerals, energy, tech. 2. Build strong neighbourhood ties, Asia first. 3. Lead in innovation so others depend on India. If done right, India will grow despite fragmentation and reach its 2047 vision. Number 6. 3-layered summary. Short, 30-sec, GFIC world splitting into trade clubs, India's response. 1. Strong local supply chains. 2. Regional partnerships, BIMSTEC, IPF. 3. Tech and innovation leadership. Medium 2 min. Globalization is shrinking, countries trust fewer partners. For India, secure critical goods at home, minerals, chips, batteries. Build regional trade corridors with neighbours. Invest in R&D, renewables, AI, semiconductors. This keeps India safe from shocks and supports long-term growth. Long, deep EF is the shift from one global supply web to multiple smaller trusted webs. This shift is driven by shocks like COVID, wars, and US-China rivalry. For India, the challenge is balancing security with growth. The solution lies in 3 pillars. 1. Domestic supply chain resilience via stockpiles, local factories, Kabil, recycling and worker training. 2. Regional partnerships, BIMSTEC, IPF, infrastructure, emergency pacts, trade corridors. 3. Innovation and technology, renewables, EVs, chips, AI, startups, R&D. If India executes this well, it avoids dependency risks, secures jobs, and becomes a global leader by 2047. That's the deepest but simplest possible breakdown. Would you like me to now make this into a single-page mind map infographic, visual cheat sheet with 3 pillars branching out, so you can see it at one glance instead of reading long text? Got it. You don't want a PDF, so I'll make your one-page BIMSTEC cheat sheet right here in text format. Here's the precise, systematic, best version you can use for quick revision. BIMSTEC one-page cheat sheet. Basics. Full form. Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation. Established 6th of June 1997. Bangkok Declaration. Secretariat Dhaka, Bangladesh. Nature, regional grouping connecting South Asia plus Southeast Asia, member states 7, founders 1997, Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka, Thailand, later members Myanmar, DEC 1997, Bhutan, Feb 2004, Nepal, Feb 2004, mnemonic, bright Indians make strong trade bonds now, Bangladesh, India, Myanmar, Thailand, Bhutan, Nepal. Objectives: strengthen regional cooperation and growth, bridge South Asia and Southeast Asia, improve trade, transport, energy, technology, tourism, joint work in disasters, health, security, environment. Key sectors of cooperation: 1. Trade and investment, 2. Transport and connectivity, 3. Energy and technology, 4. Disaster management, 5. Public health and agriculture, 6. Security and counter-terrorism, culture, tourism and people-to-people contact. # challenges: unequal sizes, India, Bhutan, Nepal, poor infrastructure, roads, ports, power, political tensions overlapping with SAR-ASEAN, slow implementation of agreements. Why important? Links 2 regions, South Asia and Southeast Asia. Gateway for trade, energy and connectivity projects, provides collective disaster support, improves jobs, travel, business opportunities. One-line summary. BIMSTEC is a 7-nation group around the Bay of Bengal, created in 1997 to boost trade, connectivity, technology, energy and cooperation between South Asia and Southeast Asia. Do you want me to also turn this into a diagrams, infographic-style cheat sheet with map, arrows and icons, so you can learn it visually in one glance? Perfect. You want a one-page BIMSTEC cheat sheet that is precise, systematic, and covers everything important in the best possible way. Here it is in text, so no PDF hassle. BIMSTEC one-page cheat sheet. Full-form Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation. Timeline and evolution. 1997, June 6, founded as BISDC, Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka, Thailand Economic Cooperation, via Bangkok Declaration. 1997, DEC 26, Myanmar joined, renamed BIMSDC. 2004, Feb-July, Nepal and Bhutan joined, renamed BIMSTEC, first summit Bangkok. 2014, Secretariat established in Dhaka, third summit decision. 2021, reorganized sectors for efficiency. SAC members 7, South Asia, Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan. Southeast Asia, Myanmar, Thailand. Mnemonic, bright Indians make strong ties, building nations. Bangladesh, India, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Bhutan, Nepal. Objectives: economic and technical cooperation, connect South Asia, Southeast Asia, boost trade, transport and energy, joint fight, poverty, disasters, terrorism, promote people-to-people contact and culture. Sectors of cooperation. Initially, 1997, trade, energy, transport, tourism, fisheries, 6 sectors. Expanded 2008, plus agriculture, health, poverty alleviation, security, environment, culture, climate change, people-to-people, 14 plus sectors. Streamlined 2020, divided among member states for focus. Dhaka, Bangladesh since 2014. Summits and ministerial meetings. Decision-making. Significance. Strategic location. Bay of Bengal calls vital trade and energy hub. Large market, 1.7 billion people. Energy potential, hydropower, Bhutan, Nepal, gas, Myanmar. Disaster-prone area. Sides needs cooperation. Bridge role. Connects South and ASEAN, Southeast Asia. Challenges: unequal size and power, all states, infrastructure gaps, roads, ports, connectivity, political tensions and overlaps, SAARC, ASEAN, slow implementation of projects. One-line summary. BIMSTEC equals 7-nation group since 1997, uniting South and Southeast Asia around the Bay of Bengal to boost trade, connectivity, energy security, and sustainable development, with HQ in Dhaka. This is your ultimate, precise, systematic, one-page cheat sheet. Easy to revise, yet complete. Would you like me to now make this into a visual infographic, like a timeline plus maps, icons, so you can literally memorize everything in one glance? Got it. I'll give you a one-page cheat sheet, precise, systematical, and packed with the best possible points so you can revise everything in 2 minutes. Cheat sheet. Critical minerals in India. Definition: critical minerals equals minerals essential for economy, technology, and national security. Limited supplies concentrated in few countries. Supply chain risks. Why important? Economy: phones, laptops, EV, aerospace. Defense: fighter jets, missiles, satellites. Climate: net zero, solar, wind, EV batteries. Transport: electric cars, airplanes, ships. Examples: lithium, cobalt, graphite, nickel, batteries, phones, EVs. Rare earth elements: 17 magnets, electronics, defense. Titanium, aircraft, spacecraft. Molybdenum, vanadium, steel strengthening, energy storage. Global significance: foundation of future economies. China controls processing, rare earths. Dependence: risks of shortages, high prices, political pressure. India's position: imports most critical minerals. India identified 30 critical minerals: lithium, cobalt, nickel, REEs, titanium, molybdenum, vanadium, etc. Based on 1. Availability in India, 2. Import dependency, 3. Future needs, tech, clean energy, farming. Challenges in India: only 48% blocks auctioned. Low foreign investment, weak exploration, slow mapping. Unclear classification, resources versus reserves. Processing gap, export raw, import finished. Risks: dependence on China and others. Delay in EV, renewable push. Strategic vulnerability in defense. Missed economic opportunity. Way forward: solutions. 1. Exploration boost, mapping, surveys. 2. Clear classification, possible, proven, mine ready. 3. Financial support, tax breaks, royalty cuts. Capital grants like semiconductors, gov guaranteed offtake. 4. Develop midstream, refining, processing. 5. Single window clearances, fast approvals. 6. Global partnerships, foreign tech plus investment. 7. Skill development, geologists, chemists, engineers. 8. Recycling, urban mining, recover from old batteries, e-waste. 9. Overseas mines, invest abroad. 10. Strategic stockpiles, reserves for emergencies. One-line takeaway. Critical minerals is backbone of technology, economy and defense. India must mine, process, recycle, and secure supply chains to avoid dependence and build a strong future. That's the most compact, systematic one-page cheat sheet you can use for exams, quick or interviews. Do you want me to also make this into a visual infographic style chart, like a mind map with boxes and arrows, so you can instantly see the whole thing in one glance? Perfect. I'll now give you a deep, detailed but still simple summary of India's Neighbourhood First policy, almost like the master note you can revise anytime. India's Neighbourhood First policy, NFP, deep detailed summary. 1. Meaning. It is India's foreign policy strategy that says our first priority in foreign relations must be our immediate neighbours. India believes that stable, friendly and cooperative neighbours mean safer borders, stronger trade, more regional prosperity. Origin: 2008, the idea was born. 2014, policy became strong and visible under PM Narendra Modi's government. Example: PM invited leaders of all SAARC countries to his swearing-in ceremony in May 2014. Number 3. Who are India's neighbours in NFP? 8 countries: Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Maldives, Myanmar, Nepal, Pakistan, Sri Lanka. China is a neighbour too, but not included in this specific policy. Relations with China are handled separately. 4. Goals of the policy. Connectivity: roads, rail, ports, flights, physical links. Digital networks, payments, satellite, digital links. 2. Trade and business: increase import-export, cut barriers, border markets. 3. People-to-people ties: easier visas, tourism, student exchange, scholarships. 4. Security: joint patrols, counter-terror cooperation, maritime safety. 5. Development and help: grants, credit, training, disaster aid, medical support. Guiding principles 5S. 1. Salmon, respect. Treat all neighbours equally. 2. Samvad, dialogue, solve issues by talking, not fighting. 3. Shantis, work for peace in the region. 4. Samriddhi, grow together economically. Sanskriti, culture, share and respect cultural ties. 6. India's approach, consultative, ask neighbours what they need. Non-reciprocal, India gives more help without expecting equal return, especially for smaller nations like Bhutan, Nepal, Maldives. Outcome-oriented, focus on finishing projects, not just making promises. Holistic, look at all aspects, trade, culture, environment, security, energy. APA 7. Tools India uses, grants and loans for infrastructure, scholarships and training for students, officials, regional cooperation, SAARC, BIMSTEC, BBN, power and energy links, buying electricity, building grids, pipelines, transport corridors, roads, rails, inland waterways, air routes, disaster relief and medical aid, earthquakes, COVID vaccines, floods. Another 8 examples, country-wise snapshots. Bangladesh, improved trade, power sharing, border markets, cultural ties. Bhutan, hydropower projects, Bhutan earns, India gets green energy. Nepal, petroleum pipeline, power trade, road rail links. Sri Lanka, credit during economic crisis, ferry services, port projects. Maldives, infrastructure, bridges, water projects, coast guard support. Myanmar, highway project, India, Myanmar, Thailand, Caladan Port River Road project. Afghanistan, dams, schools, hospitals, food and medical aid. Pakistan, limited cooperation, water treaty, trade, but mostly tense relations. Number 9. Why important for India? Geography. India shares borders with 7 countries, maritime neighbours. Security. Terrorism, smuggling, illegal migration, need cooperation. Economy. Smooth trade routes, lower costs, create jobs. Energy. Shared power grids, reduce shortages. Global image. Shows India, a brother in South Asia. Offers neighbours an alternative to China's Belt and Road Initiative. Number challenges. Big brother fear. Neighbours sometimes think India dominates. China's influence. China invests heavily in South Asia, giving loans and projects. Domestic politics in neighbours. Political changes can affect relations. Slow implementation. Some Indian projects face delays. Security issues, border tensions, terrorism, especially with Pakistan. Number 11. Signs of success. More buses, trains, flights across borders. Power trade growing, Bhutan, Nepal, Bangladesh. Faster disaster response, Nepal earthquake 2015, vaccine Maitri 2021. New road, rail, ferry links opening. Students from neighbours studying in India. 12. Analogy, easy picture. India equals your house. Neighbours equals the 8 houses around you. If your lane region is peaceful, clean and cooperative, life is easy. If your neighbours are angry or poor, you also face problems. So India says, let's first keep our lane friendly, connected and prosperous. 1-page memory note, cheat sheet. Neighbourhood First Policy, started idea 2008, strong since 2014. Who? Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Maldives, Myanmar, Sri Lanka. Goals, connectivity, roads, digital, trade ties, security, shared growth. 5S principles, Saman, respect, Samvad, dialogue, Shanti, peace, Samriddhi, prosperity, Sanskriti, culture. Style, consultative, non-reciprocal, outcome-oriented, holistic. Tools, grants, loans, training, scholarships, power trade, connectivity projects, disaster aid. Importance, safety, trade, energy, counter China. Challenges, big brother fear, China's delays, politics, security issues. Success signs, more connectivity, shared power, quicker crisis help, growing people-to-people exchange. In one sentence, India's neighbourhood first policy equals be the best friend, helper, and partner for nearby countries first, because happy neighbours mean a stronger, safer, and richer India. Would you like me to now create a visual map-based chart, with each neighbour plus India's key action in one glance, so you can see the whole policy at once? Perfect. Now build a deepest yet simplest possible detailed summary of India's Neighbourhood First Policy, NFP. I'll structure it like a master summary, thematic, layered, with all key ideas plus examples. / India's Neighbourhood First Policy, NFP, deep detailed summary. Number 1. What is NFP? Meaning, India's foreign policy approach that says our closest friends must be our closest neighbours. Focus countries, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Maldives, Myanmar, Nepal, Pakistan, Sri Lanka. Goal, build trust, connections and partnerships in South Asia before looking farther. Number 2, why was it needed? Background. Geography. India shares land-sea borders with 8 countries, daily interdependence, trade, rivers, people, security. History, relations often troubled, wars, mistrust, border issues. China's rise, China investing heavily in South Asia, India needed its own strong neighbourhood policy. 2014 onwards, PM Modi made it a priority, invited all neighbours to his swearing-in. The 3 core principles of NFP guided by 5S formula. 1. Salmon, respect, treat neighbours as equals, not junior partners. 2. Samvad, dialogue, keep talking, even during disagreements. 3. Shanti, peace, resolve conflicts peacefully. 4. Samriddhi, prosperity, grow together economically. 5. Sanskriti, culture, build ties through shared history, language, traditions. Approach is consultative, decide together, not impose. Non-reciprocal, India gives more without expecting equal return. Outcome-oriented, focus on results, not promises. Holistic, cover economy, security, culture, people. Number 4, major dimensions of NFP. A. Connectivity, roads, rails, ports, digital. Aim, cheaper, faster movement of goods and people. Example, Mongla Port and Bangladesh Rail, Northeast India connected via Bangladesh, cutting costs, time. Benefit, makes India and neighbours economically interdependent. B. High-level political engagement, frequent visits, summits, meetings. Example, Nepal, PM Modi visited in 2014, first Indian PM in 17 years. Example, Afghanistan, India built Parliament, Salma Dam, highways, power lines. Benefit, trust and direct crisis management. C. Development assistance and infrastructure. India gives grants, loans, technology for key projects. Example, Maldives, Greater Malay Connectivity Bridge, Hanamadhu Airport. Benefit, improves daily lives, builds goodwill, creates lasting ties. D. Energy cooperation. India links regional power grids and enables cross-border electricity trade. Example, 2024, Bangladesh imports 40 megawatts from Nepal via India. Benefit, stable, cheaper, cleaner power for the whole region. E. Geopolitical balancing, countering external powers. Idea, prevent overdependence of neighbours on China. India offers fair, transparent, timely support. Example, Maldives, financial aid, currency swaps, infrastructure support. Benefit, keeps South Asia within India's friendly circle. F. Humanitarian and disaster relief. India acts as first responder in crises, floods, earthquakes, pandemics, economic collapse. Example, vaccine Maitri, COVID vaccines to Bhutan. Example, Sri Lanka 2022 crisis, $4 billion support, fuel, food, medicine, loans. Benefit, builds strong emotional trust, shows India's reliability. Number 5. Why it matters. Big picture benefits. Security. Stable neighbours mean fewer wars, less terrorism. Trade. Regional trade grows, more jobs, lower costs. Influence. Counters Chinese dominance, keeps India central in South Asia. Reputation. India seen as a responsible, caring leader. Number 6. Risks. China's aggressive investments in ports, highways, power plants. Internal politics of neighbours, sometimes anti-India sentiment. Slow delivery of some projects, bureaucracy. Border disputes and security issues, SB Pakistan, sometimes Nepal. 7. Signs of success, more cross-border trade, more power-sharing agreements, faster crisis responses, vaccines, aid. Neighbours choosing India for key projects despite Chinese offers. Final, ultra-simple, one-line takeaway. India's neighbourhood-first policy is like being a good elder sibling in a family. Builds roads and power lines, sharing resources. Talks often, dialogue and visits. Helps in emergencies, aid and relief. Makes sure no outsider breaks family unity, countering China, so that the whole family, South Asia, grows together in peace and prosperity. Would you like me to now make this into a visual one-page chart diagram, with India in the middle and arrows to each dimension, so you can revise it at a glance? India-Bangladesh one-page cheat sheet. Simple, precise, systematic. Why in the news? Very short. What happened? PM Narendra Modi met Bangladesh's chief advisor Muhammad Yunus in Bangkok at the BIMSTEC summit. Matters. This is their first official meeting after Sheikh Hasina left, so it makes of ties. Quick facts. Fast snapshot. Border 4,096 kilometers, very long. History. India helped Bangladesh become independent in 1971. Trade, 2023 to 24 total, USD 12.9 billion. India, Bangladesh exports, USD 11.06 billion. India, Bangladesh imports, USD 1.80 billion. Trade balance, India surplus USD 9.26 billion. Main areas of cooperation. 1. Defense and security. Joint exercises. Exercise Sampriti, Army. Exercise Bongo Saga, Navy. Coordinated naval patrols in the Bay of Bengal. Purpose: stop smuggling, fight piracy, build trust. 2. Trade and economy. India supplies cotton, petroleum products, engineering goods, chemicals. Bangladesh supplies apparel, textiles, jute goods, some aerospace parts. Outcome: jobs in factories, cheaper clothes, economic ties grow. 3. Connectivity. Roads, rails, ports, rivers. Use of Bangladeshi ports, e.g. Mongla Chattogram, helps India's north. Railroad trade through Bangladesh saves time and money. Inland waterways, rivers are cheaper routes for goods. 4. Water and rivers. Shared rivers, Ganga, Teesta, etc. Water sharing is sensitive, affects farmers and drinking water. Ganga Treaty exists. Teesta water sharing remains unresolved. 5. Energy and development. India supplies electricity and builds infrastructure, power plants, pipelines. Example: Friendship Pipeline for fuel supply. 6. People and culture. Shared Bengali language and culture, festivals, films. Many families and cultural links across the border. 7. Politics and strategy. India aims to keep close ties to balance other external influences, e.g. China. Leadership changes in Bangladesh can change tone. Meetings reset priorities. Main challenges, short list. Water sharing disputes, Teesta. Border problems, smuggling, illegal crossings, refugee and migration issues, political shifts and public opinion. Competition influence from other countries, notably China. Why this relationship matters, one line. They are neighboring countries whose peace and cooperation affect millions, for trade, security, water, jobs and culture. Quick memory anchors, remember these 6 words. Border, trade, water, defense, connectivity, culture. 2 simple examples to recall. Trade example: India sends cotton, Bangladesh makes shirts, shirts sold back in India. Both earn money, and people have jobs. Security example: both navies patrol together, catches smugglers faster and rescues fishermen in storms. If you want, I can now turn this into a compact flashcard set, Q&A style, or make a visual infographic image you can save on your phone. Which would you prefer? Got it. Here's a 1-page, precise, systematic for India-Bangladesh relations. Energy, connectivity. Keep it short, structured and packed with all best points, so you can revise quickly like exam notes. India-Bangladesh relations cheat sheet. Energy and connectivity. Friendship pipeline. 1 million metric ton per annum MMTPA diesel, Bangladesh. First cross-border energy pipeline. Boosts energy security, lowers transport costs. Power projects. Maitri Superthermal Power Plant, India-Bangladesh joint project, now supplying electricity to Bangladesh grid. Rail and road links, Ankara-Agartala rates NE India to Bangladesh. Khulna-Mongla rail line improves port trade. Maitri Setu, Friendship Bridge, enhances connectivity. Multilateral cooperation, work together in SAARC, BIMSTEC, IORA, trade, security, disaster relief. Key challenges: 1. Diplomatic disconnect, India too close to Sheikh Hasina, ignored other groups. After Hasina's exit, weak ties with interim Govt. Hosting Hasina in exile seen as interference. 2. Chinese influence. Bangladesh part of China's Belt and Road Initiative, BRI. Chinese funds in ports, roads, power, telecom, Teesta River project, creates India-China rivalry. 3. Border and migration issues, illegal migration, tensions in India's NE states, Rohingya refugee crisis, pressure on both countries, long border, difficult to control. 4. Insurgency and cross-border crimes. Groups like Ulfa once used Bangladeshi soil, ongoing smuggling, trafficking, terror threats. 5. Anti-India sentiment, perceived interference in politics, public anger. Campaigns like India Out gain popularity, friendship at Gov level, suspicion at people's level. Way forward, engage all political groups, avoid over-reliance on one leader, strengthen institutions, ministries, universities, industries, long-term ties. Fair border management, balance security and legal trade. Resolve river disputes, e.g. Teesta, show fairness. Work joint UG issues, promote cultural people links, tourism, students, festivals. Ensure projects benefit common people, build trust. India-Bangladesh ties are strong in energy, trade and connectivity, but face political distrust, Chinese competition, border issues and rising anti-India sentiment. The future depends on inclusive diplomacy, fair resource sharing, and people-focused cooperation. Would you like me to now make this into a visual memory map diagram, infographic style, so you can recall everything at a glance in seconds?
Perfect. You want a great, deep, detailed summary of the India-US Civil Nuclear Agreement news item. I'll give you a summary that is short enough to revise quickly, but also deep enough to cover every angle so you don't miss a single important point. Deep, detailed summary. India-US Civil Nuclear Agreement 2025 update. 1. Background. India-US Civil Nuclear Agreement, also called the 23 Agreement. Signed in 2008 based on Section 123 of the U.S. Atomic Energy Act. Purpose: allow civil nuclear cooperation, reactors, fuel supply, tech sharing, research, but not weapons. It was historic because it ended India's long nuclear isolation after its 1974 nuclear test, made India a partner in global nuclear trade despite not signing the NPT, Non-Proliferation Treaty. But the deal stayed dormant, not fully active, due to legal hurdles, liability laws, and trade restrictions. Number 2. Why in the news, 2025? In the Union Budget 2025, India announced a target of 100 gigawatts of nuclear power capacity by 2047, India's 100th year of independence. To support this, the government plans to amend 2 key laws. 1. Atomic Energy Act governs nuclear development and safety in India. 2. Civil Liability for Nuclear Damage Act, CLND 2010, decides who pays if a nuclear accident happens. These steps are important because they can revive the dormant US-India nuclear deal. Number 3. U.S. recent move. The U.S. removed 3 major Indian nuclear organizations from its entity list, a trade restriction list. 1. BARC, Baba Atomic Research Center. 2. ICAR, Indira Gandhi Center for Atomic Research. 3. IR, Indian Rare Earths. The entity list restricts trade with foreign organizations that the U.S. Center sees as national security risks. Removal means easier trade and technology transfer between U.S. and India in nuclear sector. Number 4. Why this is significant. Earlier problems. Indian liability law, CLND, scared foreign suppliers. They feared huge payouts in case of an accident. U.S. restrictions, entity list, blocked key Indian nuclear organizations from accessing American technology. This kept the 123 agreement inactive for years. Now changed. India sets clear nuclear expansion goal, 100 gigawatts. Plans to amend laws to make suppliers more comfortable. U.S. removes restrictions, trade and tech flow possible. Together, these clear the road for actual implementation of the India-US 123 agreement. Number 5. What the 123 agreement allows. Technology transfer. U.S. can share nuclear reactor designs, parts, and fuel with India. Fuel supply. U.S. and partners can supply uranium fuel for Indian reactors. Collaboration. Joint research, training, and nuclear safety cooperation. Peaceful use only ensures India uses imported tech for electricity and research, not weapons. Number 6. Big picture impact. Energy security. Nuclear equals stable, long-term electricity, unlike coal oil imports. Climate goals helps India cut carbon emissions. Nuclear works low-carbon energy. Strategic ties strengthens India-US partnership in technology and security. Global role. India further integrates into global nuclear market, despite being outside NPT. Final one-page summary. Agreement. India-US Civil Nuclear Agreement, 2008, also called the 123 Agreement. Dormant. Stalled for years due to India's liability law plus U.S. restrictions. News, 2025. India's budget goal, 100 gigawatt nuclear power by 2047. Guffed to amend Atomic Energy Act and CLND Act. U.S. removed BARC, ICAR IRE from its restricted entity list. Significance. Clears hurdles for tech transfer, fuel supply, reactor deals. Can finally revive the nuclear deal. Boosts India's clean energy, U.S. ties, and global nuclear status. This is your deep but clean summary. You now know what the deal is, why it was stuck, what changed in 2025, and why it matters for India and the world. Would you like me to now make a crisp exam-style cheat sheet? Just keywords, dates, one-liners like a revision page so you can memorize everything in 1 minute? All right, let's now build a great, deep, and detailed summary of the whole text. I'll keep it very clear, step by step, and also give you the big picture meaning. Think of this like a teacher explaining the whole lesson in simple but detailed style. CAC India-France relationship, deep detailed summary. 1. Context background. India and France are close partners. Recently, their friendship was highlighted in the news because of an important global meeting about artificial intelligence, AI. This shows that their relationship is not only of culture, but also about modern technologies like AI. 2. The event, AI Action Summit. The AI Action Summit was a big global meeting focused on artificial intelligence. It was organized in France, specifically in Paris, the capital city. The summit was co-chaired, jointly led, by India and France. This means both countries had equal importance in guiding discussions. UNESCO, a major United Nations organization, was a key participant, showing that this was not just about technology, but also about education, ethics, and global cooperation. 3. Purpose of the summit. The main goal of the summit was to ensure that artificial intelligence is developed and used in a responsible and fair way. It focused on making sure AI benefits societies, ordinary people, communities, culture, economies, jobs, industries, businesses, environment, nature, climate, sustainability. The guiding principle was the common good, meaning AI should help everyone in the world, not just a few rich countries or companies. 4. Participation. The summit was attended by very high-level and influential people, including heads of state and government, presidents, prime ministers, heads of international organizations like UNESCO, UN groups, etc., business leaders from the AI and technology field. This shows the global importance of the summit. It was not just a tech meeting, but a worldwide gathering of political, business, and institutional leaders. 5. Outcome result. One key outcome was France supporting India to become the host of the next AI Action Summit. This means the next big global meeting on AI will take place in India, with India leading the discussions. It highlights trust and partnership between India and France, and also shows India's rising role in global technology leadership. Big picture meaning. India and France are strengthening their friendship by working together on future technologies like artificial intelligence. Hosting such summits increases India's global influence and India in handling important issues. The summit also emphasized that AI should not be controlled only for profit or power, but should be developed in a way that helps people, economies, and nature worldwide. This is an example of how international cooperation can shape the future of technology for the benefit of all. In short, India and France co-led a major AI summit in Paris, with UNESCO and world leaders present. The summit aimed to ensure AI is used responsibly for society, economy, and the environment. France backed India to host the next summit, strengthening their partnership and highlighting India's growing global role in AI. Would you like me to also expand this into a super easy story-style explanation, like India and France as two friends organizing a school fair on AI for the whole world? Got it. I'll now make for you a world-class cheat sheet page on India-Qatar strategic partnership. Short, crisp, bullet style, perfect for last exam revision. Nothing important will be missed. India-Qatar strategic partnership cheat sheet. Elevation of ties, 2025. During Emir of Qatar's state visit to India, both countries elevated ties, strategic partnership. Focus areas, trade, energy, investments, technology, food security, people-to-people ties. Goal, double trade to $28 billion in 5 years. MOUs and agreements, double taxation avoidance and fiscal evasion prevention, economic governance, Qatari Businessmen Association CII, business collaboration, Invest Qatar, Invest India, investment promotion. Economic ties, bilateral trade, $14.08 billion, 2023-24. Trade balance, deficit for India. India equals among top 3 export destinations of Qatar. India equals among top 3 import sources of Qatar, 2022-23. Energy ties. Qatar equals India's largest LNG supplier, supplies 40% plus of India's LNG imports. Defense and security, defense cooperation agreement, extended for 5 years in 2018. Bilateral naval exercise, Zaire Al-Bar. India participates in DIMDEX, Doha International Maritime Defense Exhibition and Conference. Cash, cultural and people ties, 2012 agreement on cultural cooperation, regular cultural exchanges. Indian Cultural Center active in Qatar. Indian diaspora in Qatar, 830,000 plus. Major cultural and social bridge. Key exam keywords. Strategic Partnership 2025, $28 trade goal, double taxation MOU, CII Qatari Businessmen Association, Invest Qatar, Invest India, $14.08 trade, 2023-24. India equals top 3 trade partner. Qatar equals largest LNG supplier, 40% plus. Defense Pact 2018 extension, Zaire Al-Bar, DIMDEX, Cultural Agreement 2012. Indian diaspora, 830,000 plus. This fits one revision page, every number, date, MOU, and keyword included. Perfect to glance before exams. Do you want me to also design this into a visual one-page infographic style note, like a chart map with boxes and arrows, so you can memorize it even faster? Perfect. You want the world's best cheat sheet page, super crisp, exam ready, only keywords, dates, and bullets. No extra fluff, but also no important point missed. Here it is. Hack BIMSTEC Youth Summit and BIMSTEC Cheat Sheet. Event. First ever BIMSTEC Youth Summit. Host, Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, Government of India. Venue, Gandhinagar, Gujarat. Purpose, strengthen youth collaboration. It's exchange of youth-led initiatives among BIMSTEC countries. BIMSTEC Overview. Full form, Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation. Secretariat HQ, Dhaka, Bangladesh. Genesis, 1997, Bangkok Declaration. Nature, Regional Organization, South Asia, Southeast Asia. Members, 7. 1. Bangladesh, 2. India, 3. Sri Lanka, 4. Thailand, 5. Myanmar, 6. Nepal, 7. Bhutan. Objectives, rapid economic development, social progress, health, education, welfare, peace and stability, security, harmony in region. 7. Focus areas, 1. Trade, 2. Environment and climate change, 3. Security, 4. Agriculture and food security, 5. People-to-people contact, culture, tourism, youth, 6. Science, technology and innovation, 7. Connectivity, roads, ports, digital links. Key exam pointers. Year established, 1997. Founding document, Bangkok Declaration. HQ Secretariat, Dhaka, Bangladesh. Members, 7. Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Myanmar, Nepal, Bhutan. 2025 highlight. First Youth Summit, Gandhinagar, Gujarat. Focus on youth cooperation. This is your one-page instant revision sheet. You can glance at it before exams and recall everything. Would you like me to also make a visual memory map? Diagram style version, like a flowchart with keywords in boxes and arrows, so you can remember it even faster. Here's the world's best crisp one-page cheat sheet on the International Criminal Court, ICC, and the US sanctions against it. Short, clear, with only the most essential dates, keywords, and points for fast revision. Cheat sheet, International Criminal Court, ICC, and US sanctions. US action. Executive order, US President signed sanctions against ICC. Sanctions include financial restrictions, blocking assets, transactions, visa bans on ICC officials and families. Reason, ICC investigations against US citizens or allies, e.g. Israel. International Criminal Court, ICC, HQ The Hague, Netherlands. Founded by Rome Statute, adopted 1998. In force, 2002. Nature, world's first permanent international criminal court. Crimes under ICC: 1. Genocide. 2. War crimes. 3. Crimes against humanity. 4. Crime of aggression. Membership, 125 countries are members. Non-members, India, US, Russia, China, Israel. Recent joiners, Malaysia, 2019, Ukraine, 2025. Management, Assembly of States Parties, legislative and oversight body, made of representatives of states that ratified acceded to Rome Statute. Official languages, 6. English, French, Arabic, Chinese, Russian, Spanish. Structural issues, challenges. No enforcement power, depends on states for arrests, evidence, political pressures, human rights versus power politics. Sometimes used selectively to target opponents. Key keywords to remember. Rome Statute, 1998-2002. The Hague HQ, 125 members. Crimes, genocide, war crimes, crimes against humanity, aggression. US sanctions, financial plus visa bans. Assembly of States Parties. Languages, 6 UN official. This is the most concise exam-ready page. Everything important, nothing extra. Would you like me to also create a super quick memory trick, mnemonic, to instantly recall the 4 crimes of ICC and the 5 big non-members, India, US, Russia, China, Israel? Got it. You want a crisp one-page cheat sheet, only keywords, bullets, dates, facts, so you can revise super quickly before exams. Here's the world's best compact summary for this topic. ECOWAS withdrawal, Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger. ECOWAS, Economic Community of West African States, founded 1975. HQ, Abuja, Nigeria. Aim: promote economic cooperation, raise living standards, support economic development. Key benefit: citizens can live and work in any member state, free movement of goods. Members, now 2025, 12 countries: Benin, Cabo Verde, Cote d'Ivoire, the Gambia, Ghana, Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Nigeria, Senegal, Sierra Leone, Togo. Left 2025, 3 countries: Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger. Timeline: 1975, ECOWAS created. Jan 28, 2024. Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger announce withdrawal without delay. Jan 29, 2025, exit becomes effective. ECOWAS confirms. Why they left: countries under military rule, juntas. ECOWAS demanded return to democracy. ECOWAS applied sanctions and pressure. Countries rejected, formed alliance of Sahel states. A legal angle: treaty rule, 1-year written notice required to leave. These 3 left immediately, created legal dispute. Impacts: travel, work. Citizens may lose ECOWAS free movement rights. Trade: higher barriers, costlier goods, slower trade. Security: less coordination versus jihadi rebel groups, more reliance on Russia, others. Justice: loss of access to ECOWAS court, weaker rights protection. Economy: sanctions, reduced cooperation, or risk of deeper poverty. Keywords to remember: ECOWAS, 1975, Abuja HQ, 1512 members. Military juntas: Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger. Alliance of Sahel States, ASS. New grouping of the 3 sanctions: democracy, legal dispute, free movement, trade, security. One-line exam punch. In Jan 2025, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, under military rule, officially withdrew from ECOWAS after tensions over democracy and sanctions, reducing membership from 15 to 12, and forming the Alliance of Sahel States. Do you want me to also turn this into a visual revision card with a timeline diagram plus map so you can memorize it even faster? Perfect. Let's make the world's best one-page cheat sheet. Short, crisp, full of keywords, dates, and facts. This will be like an exam page where you can look and remember everything. OPEC and OPEC Plus, Brazil joins. Cheat sheet. OPEC, full form: Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries. Founded 1960, Baghdad Conference. Founders: Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Venezuela. HQ, Vienna, Austria. Members: 12 oil-exporting developing countries. India was not a member. Nature: permanent intergovernmental organization. Objective: coordinate and unify petroleum policies, secure fair and stable prices for producers, ensure steady supply for consumers. OPEC Plus, creation 2016, OPEC 10 non-oil countries. Why? Falling oil prices due to surge in U.S. shale oil output. Members: non-OPEC, Russia, Mexico, Kazakhstan, Oman, etc. Goal: greater cooperation, manage oil supply and stabilize global prices. Brazil and OPEC Plus, recently approved entry. Brazil joint observer, not full OPEC member. Role: attend meetings, share market info and strategies, no binding obligation to cut production. Significance: Brazil, major oil producer, offshore oil, gains influence, credibility, and access to OPEC Plus data. Concerns: climate image versus fossil fuel expansion, impact limited since not bound by quotas. Key timeline: 1960, OPEC founded Baghdad. 2016, OPEC Plus formed after U.S. shale oil boom. 2023-24, Brazil expressed interest, approved participation. 2025, Brazil formally joins OPEC Plus talks. Keywords for exams: OPEC, 1960 Baghdad, 5 founders, 12 members, HQ Vienna. Petroleum policy, fair and stable prices. OPEC Plus, 2016, U.S. shale oil, Russia and others. Supply management, Brazil joins, observer, not full member. Influence, climate concerns. This single sheet equals all-in-one revision for exam. Do you want me to also make a memory trick mnemonic so you can instantly recall the 5 founders of OPEC in exams without forgetting?